with the great breeder over there. Um, it's because of the issues going on with Russia right now. Is it Putin? That's his name.
Yeah, it's Putin,
Putin.
Vladimir
Yeah,
Putin. But no,
Vladimir Putin. He's shutting down borders. You used to have a bunch of borders open through
well,
to
it's
Hungary and Poland, whatever. But now he's shutting them down every 2 weeks. So now everything is being bottlenecked to one or two um, entries. He's going to be shutting that down too.
it's not just him shutting down; they're shutting down on him too. So
Yeah,
it's that window is getting like a little smaller and smaller.
yeah. So it's really hard. It's really hard to get dogs shipped from Russia, which Russia got some good dogs, but
Yeah,
my experience was a little bit more technical. So I'll tell you guys my experience, and we're going to talk about other things too, because I don't want this to be all about importing a dog, because 80% of you guys ain't going to import no dog. You're going to get one from here in the United States. Just do your due diligence. Um, so when I bought the dog, Leo, that sometimes people, when you import an animal, the breeders over there will either have you pick up the dog, go through customs,
yeah,
pick up the dog through cargo, which is a separate location at the LAX airport for
yeah,
me. Or the best way I like it is when they have somebody to fly the dogs over, and all you do is meet them at the airport,
yeah.
right?
Just like
And
there.
that's what happened this time with me.
Yeah,
So we first of all, the dog had to travel 6 hours to get to Hungary, to fly to Poland, to fly
oh,
out, and then he had to catch two flights. Well, the flights got delayed, or the transport guy who was flying the dog missed the connecting flight. A lot of things happened, and it was nobody's fault. Nobody has control over it, because if you fly out of Poland and to get to Amsterdam, but the Amsterdam flight was delayed, or your flight was late getting there, you're gonna have problems, right?
Hey,
oh yeah, you will miss the flight, and
that
then
shit
you have
happens here too, man.
Yeah, yeah. So it happens every day here,
Right.
and so one thing led to another. My shipper, who the breeder requested me to use, was very patient. He's here in the United States, so he communicated with his team over there like it wasn't nothing. And it was stressful for me at first, because I never had a person I can talk to other than my custom broker for the past imports that I've done. Right, I'm always talking to my broker, or I got
yeah.
to message the breeder like what's going on. But the guy here in Illinois set up all the shipping. Like I'm like white glove service, dude, and it was great. So hiccup came. Leo was there with me with his new dog. What's the dog name?
Billy. I call him
Billy.
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 Now Billy, Mark, you probably have heard of Billy's father. It's a name that I wouldn't name a male dog, but it's a
Lemon
it's a
drop.
it's a it's called Lemon Drop.
Lemon drop,
It
huh?
drops.
Lemon
It
Drop,
drops
yeah.
lemons.
And
That has
trust
to be
me,
one
it's
strong
it's
dog,
different.
Leo, to have that type
dude,
of name.
It's different.
he's a phenomenal looking dog.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying.
Okay.
well,
Um,
we don't know. Maybe the name will change a little bit. Who you never know. With this thing,
Lemon Drop.
We
names
always give him
change all the
nicknames.
time. Yeah.
Drip drop.
Yeah. So the breeder met us. I mean, the transport guy met us at the airport. And one thing I noticed, people, I'm experiencing importing, but every experience is a new experience. Is that when the dog came out the crate, he wasn't shaking, he wasn't nervous, he just tired, he's jet lagged, but he wasn't. His tail wasn't tucked, none of that
Scared.
crazy,
Yeah.
So, but LAX is a zoo, so it's busy there, right? And you got
LAX is
carts, and we was at the Tom Bradley, frat brother. We at the Tom Bradley section, which is the international portion of LAX, and you got people coming in, and it's like mayhem, right?
Mhm.
And he wasn't shaking, he wasn't tripping, wasn't whining, and he didn't poop in the crate. The other dog that the guy brought over had already pooped in the crate. My boy didn't poop until we got home. I was like,
Did
wow,
you
he
end up
may be a house dog.
Especially with those layovers.
Yeah.
Did you end up taking a crate too? Huh? You did, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Mm.
I pay for all that.
Yeah.
You ain't getting the crate back.
Yeah.
No. So that's my experience. Um, I brought him home. First thing I brought him home, I fed him some nice raw tripe. It's like, yo, you've been eating that bullshit kibble with no name for a minute. Let me give you some real food. So I got some nice tripe from my boy at La Fundacion Beef Foundation, what it stands for. And he has raw beef. I'm giving the brother business, the way he packages it, etc. You guys see, I tagged him on there. Shout out to him. If you want a 10% discount on all that raw beef tripe premium blend, just go to his site, La Fundacion on Instagram, and type in the code EDS 1911. That's European Doberman Stud 1911. The year of my fraternity. But that's how it was cool. Anyway, he didn't eat much that night, man. He was like, well, what the hell am I? I was like, it's got this big ass dog over here. And I didn't feed him next to Casanova. That's a murder. That's a murder, and that's premeditated murder. Trying to feed a puppy while another grown dog like, hey, where's my food, daddy? Right? So I fed him. I collected a stool sample for next morning, take it to the vet. I got him microchip because the microchip in the other country don't mean nothing over here to me, right? Because when I compete my dogs or when they get lost, the microchips here in the U.S. will only register. So I use
can't read.
HomeAway. Huh?
They can't read them.
They can read them, but it'd be like invalid.
0, 0. It will come up to nothing.
Because I think it's under a different number, right?
Correct. So I use HomeAway or Home Again.
Yeah, Home Again.
Home Again. Simple, one-time fee. They try to sell you extra crap. I don't deal with that subscription stuff. But the chip is the dog's name.
No, let me ask you this. Now, here's the thing. Now, when you register them with AKC, what microchip do you put?
I put in the chip that I put in.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the pedigree have different microchip on.
Well, no, correction. So I put in the chip that I put in, right? Yeah. That's most important for me because again, when I put the dog through trial, before they let a dog get on the field, the judge warns the dog to make sure that's the right dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think, Gerald, before we even have to do that, we have to take that European pedigree and transfer it over to the AKC pedigree first. And, and when you do that, then you can microchip under that WS number.
Yeah. I was putting the carriage before the horse, but what I do all these things. I get as people listen. I'm gonna tell you guys this, and this is we got a lot of people logged in, man, especially on Instagram. So
that's nice.
Yeah, I tell you this. So I got a bunch of comments, man, like over 30 comments. I'm gonna post them up in a minute. But people, when you buy a used car, the dealership always tell you, "Oh yeah, we changed the transmission fluid, we changed the oil, we flushed out the radiator." Of course we did. We did all that.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Okay, the radiator fluid is brown, and it's supposed to be red, depending on the make and model. Your transmission fluid is brown. It's supposed to be dark red.
You gotta go all.
And your oil is black and it's supposed to be liquid gold. So I start my own record of my dog at my own vet. So now they're familiar with them. They document the weight. So this is what I do, people. You don't have to do this, but if you're getting a puppy from somebody here in the States, first thing you do, Mark would tell you in his contract, Leo would tell you in his contract, within 24 hours, you must take the dog to the vet. That's just covering everybody's bases. That's just for the health of the dog purposes, the liability of the breeders as well. So always do that, people. But my experience was great. We took him to training. I didn't want to do no bite work. He's only 4.5 months old. 4 months, 3 weeks, but who's counting, right? So I wanted to test his prey drive. That's important to me. So people, this is what I did that somebody brought to my attention that I shouldn't have did, but I did anyway. Usually when I bring a puppy to a prey drive testing from the breeders, from the trainers, either Syke or Lewis Williams, there's other dogs on that fence, right? But this time, it was only Titus on the fence. And so
he's on a spotlight.
Yeah, he was like, what the hell I do? Right?
Yeah.
And then the second round, he didn't do nothing the first round. The second round, it clicked. The light came on. So, but had he had other puppies or other dogs around doing that, he would have zoomed in like, okay, no problem. I'm supposed to do this. So that was a good sign that he figured it out, right? Brought him home. feeding him. He's eating this dude got an appetite, which is very important for training because dogs are driven with obedience with treats.
No, that's very important for everything to have appetite. Yeah, like no matter what.
So let's get into it. But that's my little diatribe of what happened. Mark, if you have any questions about it, I mean, you've imported dogs before, and Leo, you import teams of dogs a year.
Well, let me say this first. Gerald, I want to say, when you import dogs, usually from Europe, sometimes it usually should take like no longer than 2 days. Now people need to understand this. When you get a dog from Russia, because of things that happens right now, it might take you a week, or sometimes I've seen it going for 2 weeks. They get stuck somewhere, so it's very common for that. So if you guys, just for people, there's a lot of people that like Pride of Russia. There's a lot of breeders in Russia, so I'm just saying, do not get discouraged or anything, but these things can happen. It can just take at least, sometimes it can take week or longer than a week. It's very normal. So people not to panic. Some people, if they don't know, people will start panicking. Oh, I'm not gonna get a dog. What happened to my money? They're gonna start freaking out, calling people and stuff. Now these things are very common, especially right now. So instead of taking it, like if you buying it from Poland or Serbia or Slovenia, or I don't care, anywhere else in Europe, you might get it right away in a couple of days, day and a half. Now when you order it from Russia, it's a whole different ballgame. So
correct.
And it goes case by case. There's no way you're gonna get it if you order it from Russia. If you get it from Russia, there's no way you're gonna get it in 2 days. I'm gonna tell you that. Because you have to go through Poland, through Czechoslovakia, or to Serbia, somewhere else, and then it will fly right here. So and then also expect when the dog comes to be a little bit more skinnier. They don't feed them right. I mean, breeder is not there with the dog. This is just a bunch of transporting dogs. You know what I mean? Like they will not care for the dog.
Oh, they're gonna lose weight when they get there.
Yeah, so that's very common. So sometimes a lot, in this one have happened a lot. Like people will receive the dog and it's like, okay, it doesn't look the same way that it looked. Well, you know what I mean? And if your dog's been traveling for 3-4 days, it's not been eating, you won't look, even if it happens to you, you won't look the same. You know what I mean?
That was the first thing you said to me. Is like, Joe, he's skinny, but you know what? I can do.
But he still look good. That's what I was trying to tell you. Yeah.
What do you think,
He
Mark?
was skinny, but he was still looking good. So.
Yeah, I think that's again, getting it from Serbia, like we got, we imported from Dijon. He imported overnight, but we stood at cargo and customs for 12 hours. So it's a long process. And again, reach out to these guys because they know more about importing than I do. But
did you use a broker, or
No,
you did it yourself?
We did it ourselves. And that's why I said, if you don't have a broker, customs is going to drill you, man. You're going to be at customs forever, and they're going to be asking you questions. Why are you importing? Why don't you get a dog from here? Don't be wearing any of your breeding branding or anything like that.
Yeah, so my first dog that I imported was Alonzo, and I didn't know any better. And that was 2010. Going forward, I paid that little $250 or $200 to let a custom broker deal with all that shenanigans, man. I can't deal with it. And Homeland Security has gotten more strict, and more people are importing, and it's just being caught up and hemmed up in the government's office just to bring a dog is just.
Yeah, this was back in 2019. Yeah. So you can imagine.
Well, let's see here, man. If you import, like if you can only look, if you go through customs, you can only do it once. Like if it's your first time, you can free a dog by yourself. But if they pull up your name, if you've been importing dogs for a minute, they will pull up your name right there. Your name will
for sure.
with a red. You're
blocked.
Yes, yeah. Just like mine pops up right there every time I go. Just like I don't even try anymore. I'm just like the broker will take care of it. Yeah.
Hey, who do you use for broker? Do you use a Jaime still?
I use the guys in Miami. They all work underneath Jamie. His name is the guy who owns the company. Name is Jamie. And then you have
Jamie, Jaime, however you want to pronounce it. Jesus, Yeshua, Jesus.
Yeah,
all the same.
It's Jamie. Yeah, it's Jamie. He's in Miami. He's actually pretty good, and I get deals from him because I send him so many people. But usually, people should know it will cost you right around $250. So don't think it's going to be like thousands or anything. It will cost you about $250, and you can be in and out. So it's God sent broker. To get that broker. God sent.
Hey, Mark,
Now
look at
you
the
do
comment
have
right
to
there.
have you. What is that?
It says, my experience was horrible. It says, I would not do it again. I would rather stay in the United States because there are good dogs here.
Of course.
Yes, there are good dogs here. That's true. I'm never going to say don't buy a dog here. I've never advocated that. Hell, my first Dobie was bought here in the United States. I'm just saying there's levels to this dog owner stuff. So if you're wanting to buy a pet, yeah, some great dogs here. As a matter of fact, I'm about to post 2 4-month-old Pomeranians for a friend of mine who has 2 Pomeranians from Czechoslovakia, and the dogs are here. The two puppies, they're litter mates, girl and a boy. The dog is here, but the owner is not picking up the phone, and so the transport company still has a dog after 2 weeks. So I'm gonna help him rehome him. So guys, if you're looking for Pomeranians, 4.5 months old, I'm gonna post them. I don't know what his rehoming fee is, but it's gonna be 2 puppies, a boy and a girl. He want to rehome them both together. He don't want to separate them. So he's out of Chicago, Illinois. So Pomeranians, woohoo! I can't do Pomeranians, but to each his own.
Some people
can.
Yeah,
hey, Gerald, real quick.
Go ahead,
hey,
Mark.
Just another reason, just to let our viewers know, just another reason why we import is, especially with breeders, is always trying to go out of our bloodline. So we're looking for a specific look. We're looking for a specific drive. We sometimes have to go out of the United States because there's so many of the same bloodline that's been spread out. So we have to go out, to Europe to actually import. So
that's a good point. So I like Leo is always evolving with the lines, right? He has a way better connection than we do over there. But in order for our fried chicken to taste real good, when you eat it, we have to have the 11 herbs and spices mixed right. Am I right?
That's right.
Because dogs get old, right? Dogs die. You got to have backups. You got to always be 2 years ahead. Always. And when these dogs turn like 4 years old, I'm looking for a replacement because at 5 years, they 35, and 6 years, they 42. And it's like, and that creeps up quick. So we import because we want to make sure that the breeding foundation stays strong. So that's why we do it. But if you're trying to be just a pet owner, you don't have to import.
That's right.
Here's the thing. We import from Europe because we're still behind. We right here. I'm not saying that we're good dogs right here. We are behind Europe. Like we're catching up. I don't know if we're gonna catch up. We're gonna be gonna be like the Europeans. I will never look. They started this. When we've been real right here.
Most of the training, most of the
way ahead of
they're far advanced. Yeah, they're far advanced in the dog world than we are for sure. We're still looking at dogs. So why would you pets?
So we as if you're a breeder right here, you know your lines and you know what you like and what you don't like and stuff. Look, we ain't gonna get dogs from here. Maybe one day we will get dogs from here, but not right now. You know what I mean? But maybe we had some. I'm not saying I'm not gonna have a dog from here. What I'm saying is like my top males and top, your top studs and females and all that. Hey, they gotta come from the top place. They gotta come from the from the source. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and like I said, we're catching up pretty fast. We're just not there yet. This guy's you gotta remember this guy's that's all they do. Like this guy's it's all they do. When I'm saying all they do, it's all they do. You know what I mean? All day long, every day, every week, every month, every year after year, year after year. Their kids, their nephews, their babies. everything is involved in this. You know what I mean? So
and that keeps the lights on over there. That's how they eat.
Yeah.
That's their livelihood.
Absolutely. I mean, and they're also, Gerald, they have ranches. They have, you know how we live right here. We have ranches. We have big space. I mean, I'm not saying there's no houses like a big houses right here, but
no,
bro,
Mark has a ranch. Mark, you got a ranch.
Yeah.
See,
but
we can't get land like that here in LA without spending $2 or $3 million.
Right. That's right.
But
over there, everybody have it.
Yeah, Daniel Martinez made a comment. Mark, can you read that? Because I don't want to put my glasses on. I want to look good while I'm on TV.
You're so funny. Gerald, you are a G. What's your thoughts on female Euro Dobies? Could they still be a good personal protection dog? I like their personalities more.
Wow.
Did you understand that?
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, females. Okay, here's the difference that I've experienced. And Lil, you have more experience with this than I.
Well, I'll tell you a lot about that.
Females, to me, are better protection dogs than males. I'll tell you why.
That's correct.
Females, and this is why I say, man, dogs and humans are not that far attached from being from each other. Like, we're almost the same, right?
Females will work a lot better than the boys. I'll tell you that.
I know, but here's the difference. So, like, a female will bark a lot sooner to let you know, hey, I'm here. Stay away. And they're more excited because, and they're drawn more to the opposite sex owner. Like, if I had a female dog, she'd probably be closer to me than Stephanie, right? And it's reversed. The male dog,
male with a female, yeah,
right. Female dogs will let a person know, back the fuck up. Like, I'm coming here. I'm here. Male dogs are like, here, like, come over that wall. We'll play this game. So females, to me, I think, are better protection dogs, personal protection dogs, when you're trying to deter. Now, when it comes to power, of course, anatomically, the male dogs are bigger. But when you're dealing with a female, it ain't about power. It's about deterrence and two females. It's about flesh wounds. It's about you got to go to the hospital to get stitched up.
That's it.
So
that's it.
So I would say, yeah, man. Be honest with you, and the other thing about females on female dogs, they mature a lot quicker, dude. Like, I mean, my male dogs, it didn't click with that grown man mentality for like till it was 2.5, 3. Before then, they're still babies. They still think everything's a game and they're playful. They don't want to listen, right? But females, it clicks with them a lot sooner because they develop a lot faster. And females, trust me, if personal protection dog, if I wasn't on this side of the fence, I would deal with females because they're cleaner. They ain't got to like mark their territories, right? Pissing on everything. But they will fight with each other just like two males, no doubt about it. And even worse. So female dogs, I think, are better built for personal protection. Just when they come in heat, though. When they come in heat, you got to put them up.
Oh, yeah.
You got to put the diapers on them.
Yeah, females are vicious. People don't understand. If you have couple, oh man, they're vicious. They're a lot. Man, I have a lot of issues with females. But let me tell you something. Females they're a lot more. How do I say it? They're a lot more loyal to the family.
Yeah.
Female will never test your patience. Female will never inside the house. Female will never try to dominate you or anything.
What do you think about that, Mark? Because you got females.
Yeah. My females are great. They have great temperament, man. They help each other out when they have puppies. They commingle. Right now I have all the puppies out. They just played, and I have 3 of my females out there with the mom. So, they're good. They protect each other. They're good around each other.
And they take care of the puppies too. They like oversee the other puppies.
Oh yeah, for sure. They, they don't feed them or do any of that until after.
Yeah, but you gotta teach them. You gotta teach them to do that. Like you have to do. You don't just.
You got to socialize early.
You gotta fix that before it happens. You can't just throw them in there like that. They will take each other's out.
Oh yeah.
But we talking about when but see that's the thing where you establish.
They don't like the puppies sometimes too. They will not like.
Oh no, my females have grown from birth. Every dog that I have in my camp have grown from birth here, and have been in my camp. So they've grown together. So that's why I said my situation maybe is a little different. But again, you guys are always got to always monitor your dogs together, especially around puppies.
We got a Shane came in. Shane used to be out there where you were, Mark. But now
Shane.
he's over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Shane.
Boy, working with Kevin at K9.
Yeah. So yeah, Shane's in the house. He got a question. How's the new puppy? Yeah, the new puppy's doing good. I'm excited. Like I said, he's still a ball of clay, wet clay. Want to see how he develop. I give him some time to come into his own. I ain't giving him no 2 years. I'm not doing that. Here we got another one. Daniel Martinez, coming from a female European Doberman owner. Hell yeah, that makes amazing personal protection dog. They are loyal as fuck, and they'll fight to death to fulfill just that. That's true. Yeah. They won't give up.
For the family, yes, they are. Outside the world, man, they'll bite.
See, there's a comment with Shane. They said, hey, my female is a true gangster. Female works to pleasure the handler and the true love they defend with their life. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So I hope that answered his question. Oh yeah. Did you see that? You see a little? I know you don't wear glasses. So
it's nasty. All my females are nasty, so don't worry about it. Females are nasty. They're a lot more nastier than my boys. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. It's always like, and I would never I would have issues with some with boys and stuff. They don't want to work. Some of them don't want to work or here and there. With a female, oh man, no, never have issues. They always bite. Now if you get an older female, depends how you get it. Like if you get it from a little like babies and stuff, they feel a lot more comfortable in a house. They will protect and all that. But now there's a lot of people, Gerald, be getting females 2 years old, 3 years old. You don't know what you're getting in the house. You don't know where it's coming from. They're getting it for breeding purposes. Now that's a little different. Now they'll still protect the house. I don't think they're gonna do as good as the other ones. So
we started a algorithm with this female. Are they good personal protectors? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm digging this. I'm digging these comments.
There's a what kennel in European did you? Oh, the new puppy, Russia.
It's that kennel. It's really hard because it's Casa.
What is the Casa? You talking about the kennel from Yango, from Russia?
No, the one. No, not Yango. The one where I got my boy from. It's Casa de Mike Lowry. I'm just joking. It's called Casa Calinas. CASAKALINAS. I'm gonna put that in the bio, guys. And this is where I got my boy from. Now, here's the thing about her. I like her breeding style. Let me tell you why. She's one of those breeders that only breeds 3 times a year, right? She doesn't have a plethora of dogs every month. She's not connected where she's having dogs. Like where I got Alonzo from, she had maybe 3 litters a year. Where I got Brody's, hell, that lady had a litter once or twice a year, and she damn near didn't even have a phone. So I put the information on where I got them from. You can follow them. She's good people. So let me read some more comments, man. These are coming in, dog. I think they want to see Leo. These are all for Leo. I'm just joking.
Mm-hmm. What are they saying? Nah.
Shane tenfold. Shane says those ferocious females are the ones that you want to breed with. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people, and we talked about this before. And Leo, Mark, you guys know better than more. You guys know better than I do, and you knew it before I did. But the breeding foundation of any kennel is with the females. People in America, we don't even ask about the female. We ask about the stud. But the female is whether you're going to determine if you're going to get some good outcomes of the puppies. You got to have a tight female. The female is your root, your fertilization of what the puppies are coming from. You can get, if you got a good stud, he can produce on any female. But if you want to
That's what I'm saying. I will put this. You need both. You need a good stud as well. You know, so
you need a good stud.
Always the female is a little bit more important, but you still, if you have a good female and you had a good stud, that's what you get, super good stuff. You know,
if you have a great female and a good stud, you're gonna get some good puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
That's it. That's my thing. You know, because you can have a good female and you can put her with a weak stud too, like some whatever. She might give you good because she's a good female. But what I'm saying, if you want a better results, you put a good female with a good stud, and then you get the magic, right?
Yeah. So, and we hit on a couple of topics. I know you guys got to go.
Depends what they want to do with it.
Yeah. So, hit on a couple of topics. One of them is the rules are changing with the federal government starting August 2024. After August 1st, 2024, which is next. Shit, man, basically in 2 months.
2 months.
You would not be able to import a dog unless they're 6 months of age. So imagine the cost of the crate.
And then still have to go to they would have to, not just the crate. It's going to cost, the dog's going to cost.
The weight of the dog will cost more. The weight of the dog.
Right.
So whatever we paying now, add an extra $2,000 or $3,000 on that easily.
What do you think? Know what? It's we're gonna be paying money for those dogs in Europe. If they're gonna want a dog from Europe. They're gonna be paying like I would think it's gonna start anywhere from 7 to 10. To be honest.
Wow, that's the same.
Shipping,
see, I get
shipping.
So
shipping's gonna be around 2,000. So.
I'm gonna get the internet buzzing on this.
I don't know if it's a good thing.
No, I'm gonna get the internet buzzing on this comment. So let's say, I know a breeder over there that's already charging $8,000 for a dog, right? But you can't pick the dog; he picks the dog for you. So that guy that owns that Hunter, he charges $7,000 to $8,000 for a puppy, and part of the deal you're gonna have to charge more. So now he's gonna charge $10,000 to $12,000 based off of 12-second slow motion videos.
Eventually, what's going to happen? They're going to start dropping, Gerald, more and more. This is going to make it a lot harder. Man. Yeah, they're going to start dropping because you just imagine
proofs in the pudding.
Just imagine keeping the puppies until they're 6 months old. Now that's really hard.
Yeah, because now the bonding process is delayed.
Well, and so that's why if it's going to be some litters, but they're going to cost money. So that's what I was saying in the beginning. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing for us.
The imprinting, yes. You have the imprinting, all that is just because they're not doing it for you, and so you're missing on a great opportunity with a puppy that by putting a great foundation in that puppy.
Yeah.
It's going to delay the process, and it's going to cost you way more money to get all the bad habits or whatever they didn't do to that dog within that 4 or 5 months or whatever it is.
It's a very good chance too that importing is going to drop. The amount of importing is going to drop. Also, guys, the IDC show is in Budapest, Hungary. This is the International Doberman Club show. Now, this is not the protection show because you got the Siegler for that. But this is the confirmation show. This is the big one. This is where you see Rada at Deep Elanetta. This is the one that Simon goes to. These are the big ones where these dogs get these big titles with big checks and all this Royal Canine dog food. And it's gonna
be a domino effect too, though, for everything. Just so you guys know, this one's gonna go down for the Europeans. It's pretty good. It's actually big hit for the Europeans. It's a big hit. It's happening, and it's gonna happen from August. So they're not gonna be. Yeah, they're not gonna be breeding. They're gonna be selling them more. A lot of people gonna drop. A lot of breeders gonna drop. They'll start looking for different jobs or doing something else. Well, of course, they're always gonna be breeders. People, they'll be, they sell dogs over there too. They don't just sell them here, but it's
Yeah,
gonna change.
only the strong will survive, like COVID.
That's right.
Only the strong will survive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking about the IDC show. I'm flying over there to Budapest, Hungary, in September. First time out of the country that far east. So I'm looking forward to it. It's the first week of September, so a week before my birthday, and I'm gonna go over there for like 4 days. That's all I need, man. I can only see so many dogs, man. It is what it is. And but no, man, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited about this puppy. Um, I want to touch on one other topic though. Is what do you think with the new laws in August? How is that going to affect the breeders here? Are the breeders here are their numbers going to go up as far
Yeah.
as
Well, you know
supply and
what?
demand?
Yeah. Well, it's not supply. The thing is look, when the money is going up in Europe or anywhere else, we're gonna try to raise the prices as well too. So people trying to take advantage, it's gonna happen to all, it's gonna affect everybody, right here too. So when people hear breeders here see that the prices are going up in Europe, they're gonna try to rack up those prices too as well. I'm talking about good breeders. I'm not talking about Craigslist and breeders without papers. Now, look, I would say they don't have much time, Gerald. It's only 2 months. I would say go get your puppies right now. Go get your dogs and stuff. There's not much time. 2 months. What are you gonna do in 2 months?
Yeah,
Whoever's gonna.
this guy named Francisco. This is really interesting. I imported my dog for $250 on an aircraft chartered by the military. You put that link in there, and we'll see how it goes for everybody else here in America. But I
Yeah,
don't know if they're gonna let
you'll be the
250.
he'll be the
Shit.
only one. I have not seen it. Yeah, but he probably have some kind of
He's got
privilege.
connections, or he's in the military.
Well, yeah, I was going to say he was part of the service, and he had a dog over there, and he transferred the dog with him over here.
Or they ship
Friends
one
with-
and the other one comes up for free. There's things you can do. The thing is you can't get it before 6 months old right now. And after August, and then when you do fly them, they're gonna have to go to quarantine.
Yeah, but he's probably avoiding all that stuff because he has the military clearance to bring the dogs right through customs or whatever.
Hey, if you do have that kind of pools and stuff, by any means use it. You know what I mean? Use as much as anything you can. I mean, that's what we do. We try to save money. Everybody tried to save money. Everybody.
Yeah, I get that, but like, okay, I'll give you guys an example.
As far as transport, I'm saying.
Yeah, but people try to trickle that down in everything they do, right? And before me and Stephanie got together, let me say this: before me and her got together, and I'm not knocking these grocery stores. Trust me when I say this. Stephanie used to go to Food for Less, Smart and Final, all these places where you can get a box of rice that just says rice on it, man. I was like, I'm not doing this Food for Less stuff. I said, you only eat once. You only eat once. People buy these exquisite cars and they put number premium gas in there. I'm going to put premium food in my body. So I would say this. I got a message today. I can't say his name, but he sent one of my former breeders a message. He's looking for a male dog, 6 months older. She has one, and the bloodline is from Ginga House. Ginga House makes some hot ass dogs, right? And she told him the dog's 9 months old. Now the dog is 9 months, and dog know how to stack and everything. Got some obedience training, and she said $3,500, and he hits me back. I said, man, that's probably a good price, man. I mean, the dogs is Ginga House on both sides of the pedigree. Like the mama's from Ginga House, and it's like you can't get no better than that.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, that's out my budget. I said, listen, you can go out here and buy you a Ford SUV, or you can buy you a G-Wagon. You pay for what you get, man. The well-bred dogs cost money. And I was like, dude, first of all, and I'm thinking he's probably under 30 years of age. I don't know. I said, dude, get a house first.
Yeah.
Get a house with a yard.
Yeah.
I said, you can go out and get your Craigslist dog. Yeah, $500. But guess what? You're going to spend about $2,000 or $3,000 in vet bills. I guarantee you that. You're going to do your own shots.
You will never get the full potential of a dog like that. You know what I mean?
No. And it's like, I get tired of people who hit me up and oh, $2,500 is too much. Well, what do you think a well-bred dog should cost? Why don't you go? I tell you what. You want to find you a nice wife or a husband, you're gonna try to find them on Skid Row, you're gonna try to find them in a school.
Yeah.
Or while they're working, or at church, right? Or do you want to go up and down Skid Row? You got a lot of women who will pretend to be your wife for 1 hour.
Look, it's expensive to raise puppies. It's expensive to raise puppies.
Right. So it's like, so I get tired of that shit, man. People say, "Oh, that's too much." But you know what? I know people who get their hair done every week for $200. Press, wash, and curl. Press, wash, and curl. $800, and they don't even spend $50 a month for a fucking gym. What is this, man?
Brutal.
$700 purse with $10 in it.
Boom! I'm tripping, man. It's like our priorities, and I've said this in plenty of podcasts. I got into a texting message battle argument where a guy asked me how much our dogs cost. I said, $3,000. He said, man, that's a lot. I said, yeah, but you go out and buy a Frenchie for $7 or $10,000. But yeah, that's the Frenchie. I said, wait a minute. Frenchies can't walk well. They got skin issues. They can't breathe. You can't never breed them naturally. They can't give birth naturally. It's just they got more health issues than any dog at all. It's like, so they ain't gonna protect you. It's like, how are you justifying how much one dog is priced? Because Lady Gaga has one for $30,000 that justifies the price.
Well, the price will go. The price will go up now. You will see from August. Ain't gonna be even right here. It's gonna go up. Watch.
So again, people don't understand by itemizing everything a breeder does to actually raise a puppy from fucking damn birth to the time you pick up this puppy. We're making peanuts compared to what you guys are paying.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, the reason why we do this because we love it and we want to preserve the breed. If we want to make money, we want to do something else. I would have stayed in my own damn career because I work 24/7 with this breeding shit. And I love it. And I know my well-being, my health is going to be so much more than actually, stressing out running companies. So,
you remember, Mark, I told you, you said, oh, I just want to have one litter. Oh, just one litter. Mark.
It was too much work, man. And it still is, but I love it. Like I said, you have to love this and you have to do it the right way.
And that's why I got into the Dobie game. First of all, I never looked at it for money. Yeah. I was passionate. And when you find something you're passionate about, you will never consider it work.
That's right.
People flip out that I have 3 male Dobies and 1 Rottweiler. And the Rottweiler is really Stephanie dog, but I bought the dog. I picked the dog out, but she's oh wow, that's a lot. You know what? These dogs give me something back that humans can't possibly do on a daily basis. They're consistent, and I love it, man. It's either that or cars, and I get more out of dogs than cars.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. And if you guys got any, what is this right here? Got another message. Here you go. This is probably one from Leo.
Especially choose that kennel in Russia. Do the ear crop. No, you don't pick your dog by the ear crops. You pick the dog by the quality. But now, if you don't like the ear crop, look, you can always crop it right here. But I can tell you one thing: they're gonna crop it better than we can crop it right here.
Now, facts.
Yeah, you don't buy dogs because of the ears. You buy them because of the quality. Like you want to look at the lines. You want to look at the parents. You want to look, where they're coming from, who's keeping them. Who's working with them, everything, all that stuff. That's what's most important, Now the ears are important as well, but I would look for the other stuff before you actually look for the ear. quality.
Yeah, Leo. Also, bro, I believe in Europe they only do the long crop over there, right?
Well, you can do medium crop too as well.
They also.
Yeah, I mean, some do it by request. They don't like it when you request because they get offended, which I understand. When you tell them, "I'll do it," when you tell somebody, "I want to do it," can you, cut the ears a little bit shorter? That means like you telling them, "I don't like your cut. Let me get them smaller."
But to me, the medium show crop almost look like a long show crop,
But let
man.
me just if you have a medium show crop, it's look. A lot of people go for the medium because they think they're gonna stand up easy. Well, no, just because the
No.
long crop will go this way, the medium crop will go this way. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If you don't wrap them, the medium crop, they're not gonna fall naturally, but they're gonna fall this way, which is
Yeah.
really hard to fix. Now, if you get the show crop, longer crop, they might fall this way. Either or, if you don't wrap them, what I'm trying to say is either or, if you don't put the work.
And you got to remember, the structure in the dog's ears too. Every dog is different. Some dogs have, weak cartilage in their ears, and it doesn't matter how much you post them or not. They're going to have weak cartilage, and also depends on how you post them. If you use the backer rod, if you use the mole form, if you use this particular posting zip tie method, it structures your dog's ear in a different manner. So, again, the reason why I was asking, because we got the long crop, and we tend not to like the long crop because the tips tend to bend, right? And it's very hard to get those tips straight standing up. So that was my experience. That's why we do the medium show, the medium show crop.
Francisco, he had a question. I think it was for me. He says, "Did you specifically choose that kennel in Russia due to this?" So no, to answer your question is no. And I knew about her years ago. As a matter of fact, quick story, I was supposed to get a dog from her before Casanova. And this is how difficult it is when you're wiring money over there. If you're a one digit off the Swiss account, or it doesn't look right or appropriate, they kick it back. Right. So I had sent $4,000 to Christine before for a dog named Royce. So if you Google a guy named Royce, the Doberman that follows me, that's supposed to be my dog, but I referred that guy to her because when I wired the 4,000 to her, the money was in the universe. It's like it didn't get returned, but it didn't get to her, right? And that went on for 4 days. And then I was then she told me, "We'll just wire another 4,000." I'm not wiring $8,000, man. I mean, I got some money, but that's gonna tap me. You know what I'm saying? I don't spend $8,000 on nobody but myself, and that's very far and few. And so the money finally came back, but by that time I had found Casanova, and I had told this guy about Royce. Royce ended up being a beautiful dog. So this is not my first experience with her, but this time when I wired the money to her, I had somebody to wire on my behalf. Well, I wired it to a friend of mine over there, Mike, who's my connection over there, because his account is it's a U.S. account, so he was able to get the money to her. So that answers that question. But no. So he said something else too. I'm only asking because the breeders that I dealt with in Europe don't crop. I know only in Serbia and Russia are allowed. So here's the deal, guys. Leo, you can and you guys, Mark, you know this. Cropping and docking is banned in certain areas over there, but they still get it done. Not banned over here, but I can see where it's going to start coming that way over here, where they're banned it. That's why Dr. Blutchko, when he does croppings, you got to pay cash only. We ain't doing chargebacks. We ain't doing check writing. He takes cash. Am I right, Mark? He does cash only. So I can see it where it's going that way because people say, hey, that's cruel to the animal. But hell, if that's the case, why we should be mad at our mothers for getting us circumcised.
I know, yeah.
Right?
That's one way to look at it, yeah.
Why did they do that?
Let me tell you something. They will never be able to stop that first, Right. They can't stop it. Now, they might try to, send, like in Europe, they will send spies right now to the kennels. That's what they do. They send spies. They were trying to message somebody to see if they, and then And if you get caught cropping, it costs like right around first offense is like 2,000 euros. Then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 8, and then it goes to 16,000 euros.
Hey, Mark, can you answer that question for Susie? Because I think you probably know more different croppers than I do.
Who do you go? Yeah, we go to Buchko out in Riverside. So if you guys want to go out there, just make sure you guys make an appointment because it's a long list. There's a lot.
Well,
and there's not too many vets that actually do it.
I used to like the older Buchko, the father. The father is gone. You know what I mean? That is, he died. Now he's the kid. I'll tell you, hey, I'm speaking my mind. I don't like the crops. They do.
Yeah.
You know,
they tend to be longer crop. Like again, I don't like the.
Well, they're big too. They leave them on the bottom. You know, like I can deal with longer crop as long as they're not like you don't have a plate on the side. Yeah. Now you can use SoCal Canine. They do pretty good crops. And
yeah,
they're pretty expensive actually, but they're really it's the owner. She used to do boxers. They used to have boxers, and she does actually pretty good crop. But you will pay like $650, I think, or depends on how many puppies you have in a litter. But she does pretty good. There's also guys in San Diego. There's a clinic in San Diego. You know, there's a bunch of people that you know what I mean? It's like we're talking about clinics, you know. Now do your research. Like I said, you know, you can find them. You can find people cropping ears.
Yeah, I used to do Butchco, but when you can make an appointment, you better call early in the morning or you better call late in the afternoon for an appointment or just pop up. Now, when you pop up at Butchco, excuse me, understand this. You better get there before daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard from someone that Colima Medical Center.
Colima.
They do ear cropping as well. I've never been to them, but
Riverside Hospital does ear cropping too as well. Yep. You know what I mean? I mean, there is plenty places you can find. The SoCal, I would go to SoCal, to be honest. I've seen the crops from SoCal. They're actually pretty decent. I like them. You know,
SoCal's good, but you know, my thing is, I'm gonna put their website up here too. My thing is with SoCal is that you know, certain clinics are good for certain things.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Certain clinics, certain good. Like SoCal's good for procreation,
for reproduction.
Right? Reproduction. They're good at that. Yeah. I don't know about their skill set in.
I tell you, 100%. I know that the lady's been cutting. She's actually that's the wife of the owner. Now she's the only one in the whole SoCal. They have like 3 or 4 clinics. She's the only one that crops the ears. So if you want to crop, she usually operates from in San Diego right now. Now to get the crop from her, you have to set up an appointment. Now, if you set up an appointment, she will actually be in the location that is closer to your house. I'll tell you something that she does a really good job. I've seen it. My opinion, she does better than Butchko. Like it's not. I'm not trying to put Butchko down or anything. I just like her crop better than Butchko's. You know, now.
Yeah. Hey, everyone has a preference. That's why sometimes when people come to us and they say, "I want this and I want that and I want that," go do it yourself.
Listen, let me answer this one real fast.
Gerald. Read that because Angelica, she sent another comment. She said, sorry for the long message, but hey man, put your reading glasses on. What did that say right there?
You can see a great Pharaoh.
Let me read it out loud. Is it too late to crop them when they're a little over a year? Yeah. You can battle crop.
Now let me fix this for you. Let me answer this one. Yes, it is, but it is not. So depends who is doing it. Like you can crop the ears on a 15-month-old and we can have them to stand up. But that's going to depends like how you're going to work and what you're going to do, because people need to understand, Gerald, when you get a dog, when the ears crop, they don't just stand up magically. There's a lot of work involved in that. Like you really have repetition.
How long does that take, Leo? After that many years, or how being the dog's ear flop that long, and the structure of the cartilage? How long does that take?
No, it will take right. It takes like a couple of months. They'll stand up.
But there has to be a lot of damage.
It's a thing you got to do. It's a thing you got to do. But they will stand up.
So let me finish her statement. She says, AKC, the great grandfather of Pharaoh von Berkenick.
Yeah, I know who Great Pharaoh is.
Who was a 2-time U.S. UDC IPO 3 national champ. Okay, so I want to stop right there, and I'm gonna complete it. Okay, and I've said this before, and Mark is about to be grinning when I say this. I get it where you said the great grandfather. Now, if you go back in history, who is your great grandfather? Do you look like your great grandfather? Do you even have your great grandfather's name? Are the genes that strong where 4 generations back, that dog that's born has the same? No. Yeah. So my thing is, it's great to have those on the pedigree, but that's not even a third of what the dog is, because the dog has already been washed down with something else.
Yeah.
3 more generations. So
either it's washed out with the good or washed out with the bad. Depends
right.
either or.
So the other part, the other part to her, she's the sweetest, but definitely active. Also, I do have 5 sons and a baby daughter, children, and she is a family dog. What kind of training should she do? Also, what kind of training or playtime should I do with them? She is my first. So here's the deal. For reasons, I'm not a canine trainer. Okay, I can't speak on what you should do because I don't know the dynamics in your household. I don't know where they're located, who's all involved, what kind of food you have. So I can't speak on that. My recommendation is to talk to a trainer in your area that you're going to go with you can be more detailed than versus 7 sentences, and let him see what actually goes on. Because remember this, Ms. Smith, the dogs are a luxury, not a requirement, but they're 100% liability. And if you're not training your dog with positive imprints, like taking the food bowl away when they're eating so they can be desensitized, or not act the food when they're eating, you're taking it away, because your baby's going to pull their hands in the food bowl, they're going to move the bowl, they're going to take a toy from the dog. We need to make sure the dogs are not responding when we pull things away from them that they're drawn to, So like I had a dog named Bo. Bo wasn't my dog, but if I was feeding him and I wanted to pick the bowl up while there was food in there, he would start growling at me. Now, he's bit me a couple of times in other scenarios, but it's all about imprinting the right things. So I cannot tell you one way or the other, but you should get a trainer and let him evaluate the dog, and let the trainer come to your house to evaluate your living situation versus you go to him. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, especially if you want to do any work on any behavior situations with the dog, because what I understand, you just got the dog after a year old. So sometimes those dogs come with some behavioral issues. So you have to work on that. And again, like Gerald said, get with a good trainer. They'll evaluate the dog. They'll come to your house, do some private lessons, maybe some group lessons, and then we'll see where your dog's at, and where you want to take your dog, and what things you want to work on.
Yeah. Fellas, we've been on this podcast for a whole hour. Half of that, we've been trying to fix the technical difficulties because Mark had infected our microphone.
Virus.
That's another hour right there we lost. It's all good.
Nightmare killer.
I'm ready. I'm ready for next time. I know, like, click. I'll be good.
Next time, though, get a earpiece, though. We can plug right in. Yeah.
I have accent. I have some. I just didn't want to spend another 30 minutes putting it on. So I was like,
damn, Gina,
I'll get it done next time. I'll get it. I'll have it.
Hey, so people, 10th time is the charm.
So people, until again, the 3 amigos, we will see you, and thanks for tuning in. Mark, thanks for making it happen. I was a little bit worried, but you're here. All right.
Thank you for inviting me.
Peace out.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having us, man.
All right.
Good. Always good. Always
hey,
good.
And make sure everyone follows us. Make sure that you guys subscribe and notify and all that good stuff, and hit your notification button for Gerald's Next Time podcast. We have some more good talk.